Was a bit of an emotional roller coaster yesterday at Ford Field. I got the chance to go and watch the Lions home opener with Ken Dallafior, who played for the Lions, the Steelers, and the Chargers, and he is the Senior Vice President of Group Sales and Corporate Marketing for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. In fact, Ken, when I was driving to Ford Field down there, I heard you on the air with Jim Brandstatter talking healthcare.
Hey, good morning, Michael. And it was quite an exciting day yesterday at Ford Field. Unfortunately, just a little short on the points, but always talk to Jim Brandstatter, and we try to get our healthcare message onto the radio there before the games as well, too.
Yeah, and I noticed a big sign in the stadium for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Obviously, your sponsors there of the Lions, and you having been a Lions, player. When the Lions were good, I know you're always hoping that this will be the year. Maybe this won't be the year, but it seems to me that they have turned the corner a bit. And tell us what you saw from a technical football standpoint. Obviously we don't like the result, but they did have the lead, 17-7 for a while there, and the stadium was loud.
Yeah, I would tell you the Lions are a much improved team. That's pretty obvious. I think the thing that we started out well yesterday was running the ball, which established a running game, and Javid Best is quite a running back. I think we probably had a little bit of limitations in the game plan, and probably didn't have the quarterback that we would in Matthew Stafford running the offense. Defense kind of closed down a little bit on us, and we kept our defense on the field. Looked to be too long, but the defense played pretty stout. And a lot of pieces on the defense that they filled in the offseason that are starting to show up in the performance. And Sue, for example, he's coming along. Started out slow in the game a little bit, but man, he's starting to be an impact player. So lots of pieces to a better team, and the Lions are on the right track and made a real good comeback. And that's nice to see because that sort of talks about the character of the players on that roster too.
Isn't the best news of all that Javid Best is a game-breaking sort of player, the first good running back we've probably had since Barry Sanders, the guy you blocked for all those years ago?
Yeah, Javid seems to have that extra gear, if you will, and he's got those nice moves to be able to sort of set the play. And you and I talked about a play yesterday. It was sort of this reverse pivot, and he came back and he stretched the field, and all of a sudden he made a cut that just was phenomenal and turned up the field and made 10 yards. So that's the kind of talent that just sort of shines in that guy, and it's going to give defenses major headaches as he plays through this season and hopefully many years to come.
He caught a load of passes yesterday, too. I think he had more passing yards than he did rushing yards. But it seemed like Sean Hill had trouble getting the ball to Calvin Johnson. I know he threw a touchdown to him at the end there, but otherwise he was a non-factor, wasn't he, Calvin Johnson?
Yeah, it seemed we did go to Calvin early, and they just had a hard time connecting up. And I think, again, I'm not sure where Sean Hill rates as a quarterback, or maybe it's just the time they haven't had to work together. Time will tell what that is. But we got to get the ball down the field more often and get it to Calvin Johnson, and then Nate Burleson has to come into play, but he used the running backs and the tight ends real well yesterday. Sean Hill did in the offensive scheme, and I think that's a big factor for us to have success offensively too in the future.
That little experiment there, putting Ndamukong Suh in the fullback spot there as an eligible receiver and a blocker, didn't go so well. It wasn't exactly the fridge. He didn't carry the ball, but the Lions tried 2 times in a row to get 1 yard by going up the middle and had no luck, and that probably sealed their fate.
Yeah, actually, you're actually right, and it's a nice idea. And if you got a big, strong guy like Sue, you want to use him in that way. And although the defense kind of knows where you're going to go when you're using him as a lead blocker, I suppose they'll come back and have some counters off of that. But it was ineffective, and 2 plays in a row, we didn't get the first down that we needed.
You're not always going to face a quarterback like Michael Vick either. He has this uncanny way of making something out of nothing. And not only that, I would think he would exhaust the defense because he's got them running all over the field. In one case, early on, he threw a lateral pass about 40 yards probably from one side of the field to the other. And, maybe if that were just a regular quarterback back there, we might have had better luck yesterday.
I think that's right, Michael. He's definitely a talent, and he sort of hit his stride. He started the game a little slow, and then he started doing the trickery and the magic that he has within his legs and moving around. And we had safeties on blitzes and so on. These weren't just defensive ends or defensive tackles missing him. These were our safeties and defensive backs, and he is something to watch when he gets going. And he was a difference. He was a playmaker yesterday.
Well, the good news is they're entertaining to watch and will be even more entertaining when we get Matthew Stafford back. You're 0 for 2 in your picks, but I can see why you would pick the Lions, and some people say you would have won the Chicago game anyway if the catch had been a catch. So we will talk to you soon, and thanks again for yesterday. It's always fun to watch Lions games with you.
Thanks, Michael Patrick, and have a great day.
Ken Dallafior, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, blocked for Barry Sanders and Terry Bradshaw and Dan Fouts. Big time. Michael Patrick Shields back after the news.